Gemini, welcome to your 2025 balance of the year tarot reading by Astrology House. So this is going to go live towards the end of June. So the timeline for this is really the end of June through the end of the year. And what I'm going to do is a small reading for every single house here. And starting with the first house, which is the house of self. So this is your physical person. This is what people see when they meet you. Here it's in the sign of Gemini, your sign. And so let's get what is the overall kind of theme for the balance of the year for you. One more. All major cards. Chariot, card of success. It's the Chariot also overcomes some sort of battle, challenges, obstacles, all of it. And I say that because the devil is showing up here. So if this has been something that has held you back in some way, unhealthy habits, patterns, any kind of toxicity in your life, anything that would limit or restrict you, the Chariot here indicates that you're overcoming it, that there's a lot of success here on the horizon. If you're not experiencing it yet, you will. I'm also getting the Empress energy. So it's Venus. Love that energy because it's what you love and value. And so when it comes to yourself, you're prioritizing you, prioritizing your physical needs, maybe even your emotional needs, whatever helps to take care of your physical body, because our emotions can manifest into some sort of physical ailment. So whatever that devil energy represents for you. So, and I say that because the devil energy can be addictions, alcohol, drug, anything, any kind of addiction here, anything that would have an impact on you. It feels like you're going to conquer that devil energy, and just focusing on yourself really seems to be the big theme here. So let's get any blocks or barriers to your physical person for the balance of the year. Okay. So what I'm getting here from a block and barrier standpoint, so the magician energy is about manifesting goals and dreams. So this feels like maybe it's the next phase, and we'll talk about that. But I'm getting the world showing up here. And so the world is some sort of ending. Something here needs to be released so that you can go after your goals and dreams. That's how this is coming across as a block. You need to release that devil energy kind of once and for all, just get rid of it. I see the Chariot and the Empress. This is absolutely doable. It's just a matter of you doing it, because I'm also getting the Sun, and it feels like the devil is blocking the sun right now. It's preventing any kind of optimistic hope or direction for the future. When I was clarifying the world here, what I got was the Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups. This is more of that loving and nurturing yourself that feels like it's coming through with the Chariot and the Empress, because the Empress is what you love and value, and showing up in your first house, this is about you. And so loving yourself enough to let go of all that self-limiting behavior, anything here that would hold you back. And so what the universe is saying is really channel your inner happiness with the Six of Cups, Queen of Cups. Make time for any kind of self-care routine. So whatever that looks like for you, whether it's reading a book, going outside, spending time with family, with friends, whatever it is, make sure that you're taking care of yourself this second half of the year. Let's get the advice here for you. You have been learning a lot about yourself, and it's about to pay off. So in your advice, I'm getting the King of Wands. King of Wands, very action-oriented, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, your opposite sign. This is taking some sort of action, but the action is going to come from the heart here with the King of Cups. So whatever it is that you're doing, really operate from that place of self-love and self-care, and something here that maybe aligns with your goals and dreams, that magician energy. But I'm also getting the Hanged Man. And so the Hanged Man is pause or delay. So any kind of action that you're taking here in the second half, you may experience some delays, but it's not intentional delays, not like trying to intentionally keep you from your goals and dreams. This is really about showing you a different point of view, showing you what life could be like once you release that devil energy. When you're able to see that big picture, then you're able to understand what action you need to take following your heart. What does that look like? And so really the advice here is when you're taking any kind of action here going forward, and it's about releasing that devil energy, come at it from a place of understanding where it's been holding you back, how it's been holding you back, that devil, because understanding the impact from that big picture perspective is going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to move forward. And so that's your first house of self. The next house here, and I'll talk a little bit about it while I shuffle. So the second house is focused on, it's what you love and value. It's also money. So in that second house, think of your bank accounts, savings accounts, investments. Could even be maybe anything that you own of value. That would be part of the second house energy. So it's what you own versus kind of money coming in, going out. That's a different house. So just wanted to kind of distinguish the two of those. For you, this is in the sign of Cancer. Bear with me one second. So in the sign of Cancer, Cancer is a very loving, nurturing energy. So when it comes to your finances, what you're trying to do is create some sort of security for yourself. That's the energy coming through in just your approach to what you own, anything that you love and value. You would be coming at it from a place of just nurturing yourself, setting yourself up for some sort of security. So let's get what the theme is for your second house, the back half of the year. Let me see if I can get just 3 cards on that. I love this. So I'm getting the 4 of Pentacles showing up. The 4 of Pentacles is stability. This tells me that you have a very solid foundation, that your foundation is kind of, it's there, it's solidified. There isn't anything additional you need to do. I am getting the Hierophant showing up. The Hierophant is spiritual union. Whatever actions that you're taking related to your finances, you're setting yourself up for the security that you want. I'm also getting the 9 of Pentacles because you're about to grow something here. So we go from being very stable in your finances to focusing maybe a little bit on what you want here with that Hierophant energy, focused on aligning with your spiritual path, and it leads to growth. So whatever's taking place here in the second half of the year, it's not about having less, it's only about having more. So let's get blocks and barriers to your personal finances. So what I'm getting here is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups could be the Cancer energy coming through here. Queen of Cups is self-love and self-care. And so if you find that maybe you're not saving as much or something is happening here and you're not really prioritizing what matters to you, that would have an impact on the amount of money that you have or any kind of investments that you have. Temperance energy, really being balanced, emotionally balanced. So easily you could take the money that you have and overspend if retail therapy is something that you participate in. I'm also getting the Wheel of Fortune here. And so the Wheel of Fortune, growth and prosperity. I'm almost getting the reverse of this as well, where the universe is saying, if you really focus on your goals, that Queen of Cups energy, that nurturing what your financial goals are, or those security goals that you have, and you come at it from a very balanced place, that temperance energy, then you're going to see a lot of success. It's the Wheel of Fortune, but it's the 9 of Pentacles as well. So that's how it's coming across in that way. Let's get any additional advice here for your second house. What I'm getting here is the 3 of Swords. So healing from some sort of heartbreak. So if there were instances in the past where maybe you weren't saving as much as you wanted, or your bank account doesn't reflect exactly what you want it to be, maybe you had goals and you're just not hitting them, there's this kind of forgiveness that needs to take place. That's how that 3 of Swords is coming across. I'm getting the Star. Keep focusing on your goals and dreams. They're not out of reach here. 6 of Cups, absolutely. 6 of Cups, card of nostalgia. This feels like it's maybe a past goal that you're revisiting and maybe even modifying a little bit to bring it into kind of your current energy, your current mindset. So I like the way that this is planning out. You have a lot that seems to be going really well for you in the second half of this year so far. So that is your second house. The next up here is the third house. So that third house is communication. It's short distance travel, your neighbors, siblings. Kind of think of your immediate surroundings here. Could be early childhood education as part of that third house energy. For you, it's in the sign of Leo. Leo is a very bold, dynamic energy. And so I'm getting something out of the box as it relates to maybe your communication, maybe your upbringing or early childhood education. I'm definitely getting that kind of bold Leo energy coming up there. So let's see, what is your theme for the third house in the back half of 2025? So I'm getting the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands, I'm getting a thinking before you speak with that Two of Wands, seeing the potential in a situation, because that third house is communication. It's also the way that you process information. And so with that Two of Wands energy, there might be something connected to seeing a goal in the distance, recognizing it, kind of processing it, understanding it for what it is. I'm getting the Knight of Wands. You're going to take some sort of action against a goal that you have. And Queen of Swords, you're going to be very clear about all of it. That Queen of Swords energy, it's your energy coming through. Air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And so it feels like when you're moving towards these goals, you're very clear on what actions that you need to take. And there isn't going to be any hesitation here on your part. You're going to really just go after whatever this potential situation is. So let's see about any blocks or barriers from a communication standpoint. So what I'm getting is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is carrying around a lot of burdens, a lot of responsibilities. This is a closed cycle. So whatever it is that you're going after next, it feels like you're very focused on the future. I'm also getting the Hanged Man here. And so the Hanged Man is pause or delay. It's pause or delay so that you can finish up some sort of work. So here, short distance travel, communication, all these goals that are showing up in your current energy, like that overall energy. The block and the barrier seems to be you need to close out a cycle, one where it just feels like you've been doing a lot of work and you're pretty much there. I mean, that's what the Ten of Wands indicates, that you're actually there. It's just a matter of letting it go, that you don't need to keep doing the work. The work itself is done. You've achieved the results that you set out to do. I'm also getting the Six of Wands. And so the Six of Wands is a card of success. How it's coming through is you may not recognize that you're done putting in all that effort. And because you're still putting effort into something without really getting any benefit out of it, that is holding you back a little bit from going after what you want, seeing the potential and then moving in that direction. So let's get the advice for you here. So what I'm getting here with the Eight of Wands is movement forward. It's communication in your house of communication. So working to release this devil energy. That's exactly what the universe is advising you to do. Because you've been doing all of this work, you don't need to keep putting in all of this effort. It really is, you're at a point, just move on from it, let it go. Find the strength within yourself, that Leo energy, and just say, you know what, I'm ready for the next. I'm ready to pursue whatever goals that I have for myself. Wherever I see that potential, that's where I want to go. So the next house is the fourth house, which is the house of home. And so that house of home is your physical dwelling, could be your childhood home, could be the location that you live, could even be your ancestral line, because it's all kind of connected to home and family. And so here for you, this is in the sign of Virgo. And so Virgo, it's the Hermit in tarot. And so there's a lot of reflection. You might find that when you're in your home environment, you're a little bit more subdued. You're a little bit quieter. The Hermit energy, that Virgo energy, just kind of goes up inside their mind, thinks about things, really is very strategic in that way. Could even indicate that you're at home doing healing work. So healing work on yourself, healing work around you. But what is really significant here about the back half of the year in your fourth house is that that is the south node. So the eclipse season that we're in is the Pisces Virgo eclipse season, Virgo being the south node. So there's something here in your home environment that you need to release. So let's see what we get from a theme. Like, what is your overall energy for the back half of the year? So I'm getting the Knight of Wands, which is movement energy. Judgment card. And so judgment, final decision. It's also a resurrection energy. And then the Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective, really looking at things from a big picture. And so what the universe is saying here, when it comes to your home and your home environment, it really is, you might be moving on. You might be moving to a new location. That might be something that occurs here. If you might be, if you live at home with your parents or any kind of family members, you might be moving out of that situation. I'm getting that. So it feels specific to maybe some of you, but I am getting this sense of movement, a very clear decision, seeing the big picture. So take it as it resonates, but I'm also getting here that whatever is taking place within your home environment, there's this kind of rebirth of you that is happening, this ascension that is happening. It's based on the actions that you're taking, but these actions are happening within your home, kind of maybe within the four walls or connected to your home in some sort of way. You might be healing something from the past. Let's get any blocks and barriers. So I'm getting the Ten of Swords, which is a painful ending. So painful ending is really preventing you from kind of doing what you need to do. There is something here that needs to be released. Six of Cups is showing up, as well as the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is a student type of energy, learning a lot about your happiness. But since that fourth house of home does include early childhood, that Six of Cups is children. And so there might have been some sort of painful ending from your childhood that you need to release, that is holding you back in some sort of way. It feels like this is part of that resurrection, that rebirth energy that I'm getting for you in your overall theme. And so it's holding you back from really having the home life that you want for yourself. So let's get some advice here for you. So I'm getting the Queen of Swords here, which is your energy coming through again. So that Queen of Swords, very intelligent, has all the information. So world, you have at least enough information. It's kind of a mixed bag. So some of you are going to have all the information that you need in order to be able to let it go. And for some of you, you actually do, but you don't think that you do. And that's how the energy is coming across. And so somebody here needs to kind of maybe ask more questions with the Page of Swords, get into the weeds of this, really get into the details of whatever this painful cycle was connected to your childhood. There's something here that you need to release. You have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. And any additional information that you need. I'm also getting with the Hanged Man in that overall energy, the Page of Swords with the Hanged Man, when you start asking yourself those kind of questions, what is this? What do I need to do? How do I let go of it? Also imagine what your life would be like without this pain holding you down or working against you in some sort of way. Because that's what the universe really wants you to focus on. It's letting go of something here. The South Node is left over from a previous life, things that feel comfortable. But if you sit in that South Node energy too long, then you never really move forward. And so there's something here that you need to release, something that you didn't even realize was holding you back. And so the next house here is the fifth house. And so that fifth house, it's the house of fun. It's the house of pleasure and sex. And so think of your hobbies, short-term relationships. There's a lot actually in this house. Children. So think fertility, if you're wanting to have children, that would be represented in the 5th house. So there's a lot that is kind of in there. For you, it's in the sign of Libra. And so that Libra energy is a very balanced energy. So grounded and just very diplomatic in its approach to everything. So it could be in those kind of more casual, short-term relationships. It could be that you find yourself always compromising or looking for some sort of balance within the connection. That would be that Libra in the 5th house. So let's get some energy around the back half of the year. Let's talk about the overall energy. So I'm getting the 4 of Wands showing up, which is one of the marriage cards in tarot. It's a reason to celebrate. And so it could be that you want the 5th house relationship to be a 7th house with that 4 of Wands, because that would be the next step up. It would be taking something that is sort of temporary, doesn't have to have an expiration date, but it's something where you're not married, and taking it into the 7th house, which is marriage. So that 4 of Wands showing up in your 5th house could be pretty key here. Hermit is showing up. So a lot of internal reflection, thinking about things, maybe even doing some inner shadow work, healing, so that you can have that kind of relationship, one that would lead to marriage. I'm getting the 5 of Wands here as well. So you're going to be facing some obstacles and challenges in that 5th house. So let's get into the blocks and barriers here. So the block and barrier is the Fool card, which is a new start, new beginning, Page of Swords, and the 9 of Cups. And it feels like what you need is clarity. Clarity around exactly what it is that you want in this next chapter. What goals are you trying to set as it relates to all of the fun things in your life? So it could be children, could be relationships, whatever the case, hobbies, whatever the case is here. What goals do you really have? Because the obstacle and challenge seems like it's clarity around that. So let's get the advice here for you in the 5th house. So what I'm getting here is the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is your foundation. The 4 of Pentacles, it's the 4 with the 5 of Pentacles showing up. This tells me that it's working beyond what you have. It's finding a way to grow and expand a specific relationship, or maybe relationships in general, that you're looking for a life partner. And this would indicate that you need to do some sort of inner work with that Hermit to really get yourself ready for that kind of relationship, or really take the time to see, okay, I need to let go of just thinking of me, because that's how these 2 cards are coming across. I'm also getting the 3 of Wands, and it feels like it's part of your kind of journey here. When you look at the 3 of Wands, you can see that there's this path in front of her, and it just feels like it's a personal journey. It's one of patience. And so do the work, that Hermit energy, do whatever you need to do in order to have the goals become reality. But I'm also getting get the clarity on the goals, work towards that, get yourself ready for the type of relationship that you really want to have. One that would be long lasting, if that is your goal. That seems to be what it is the case based on all of the cards coming out, but take it as it resonates for you. So the next house here is the 6th house. The 6th house, this is your daily routines. So think of the things that you do on a regular basis. What kind of work do you do? What kind of hours do you keep? What does your health and wellness program look like? Do you go to the gym? Do you work out at home? Not at all. What's not included in the 6th house are things like just graduation parties that happen once. Anything that's not a part of a regular routine, that would not be part of the 6th house. And so the 6th house for you is in the sign of Scorpio. And so Scorpio is a very intense energy. So when it comes to your daily life, your daily routines, your kind of regular routines here, they may be structured in a way that really just, I'm trying to find the right words to describe it because I'm getting a very intense energy out of this where you get a lot out of your daily routine. They're structured in a way that really aligns with your emotional well-being. It allows for balance, is how the energy is coming through. And so something around your daily life seems to be very structured in a way that just, you need it this way. For some reason, you need it this way. That Scorpio energy, it's the intensity. Okay, so let's get what is the theme for you in your daily life the rest of the year. So what I'm getting here is the Four of Swords, which is a healing energy. So maybe taking a step back, ending something here so that you can rest, recover, and heal. Maybe even making time for that in your daily routine. I'm getting the Five of Pentacles. You need to let go of something. And Page of Swords. Page of Swords is asking all the questions, getting curious, figuring out what in your daily life might be holding you back. Because it feels like there is some modification here that's needed. Let's get the blocks and barriers and see what else we get here. What is the block and barrier in your daily life? So what I'm getting is the Seven of Cups. So if you have a lot of dating options, maybe that's something that you need to get rid of in your daily life. The Seven of Cups, it can be an overwhelming or confusing energy because you have so much kind of hitting you all at once. It may make it difficult for you to really prioritize what matters. And I'm just getting a very strong 5th and 6th house combination of energy. And so there might be something in your daily life connected to your dating habits or something here that does need to be modified so that maybe you don't feel so overwhelmed. If it's not connected in that way, there is something in your daily life that does seem to emotionally impact you, maybe even slow things down a little bit, is really how the energy is coming across. I'm getting the Queen of Cups here and the King of Swords. So what I'm getting here from a block and barrier is that you need to make more time focusing on what really matters, prioritizing those kind of routines in your life that provide that maximum impact, what really aligns with what you know to be in your best interest. That's how the block and barrier is coming across. You might be overextending yourself and really spreading yourself too thin on a regular basis. So let's get the advice here. So what I'm getting is the devil energy. So Capricorn showing up, this feels a lot like releasing the devil. If you have not made any modifications to your daily routines, but your life has been changing because we've all been going through a lot of change, then something here needs to give. It might be overstructured. That devil energy is very limiting, very restricting. So find a way to kind of restructure, create more flexibility here in your daily routine. I'm also getting the Four of Cups, sadness and disappointment. It's actually connected to the Seven of Cups, and it feels like the overstructure that is taking place. Page of Cups showing up here so that you can open up more time to pursue something that you really want, because there is something here that's holding you back that you do need to let go of. It's just preventing any kind of forward momentum or really spending the time doing what you enjoy doing. So the next house here is the 7th house. The 7th house, so it is marriage. So first marriage, even subsequent marriages still have a connection to that 7th house. So the 7th house is more than just marriage, though. It's those significant relationships in your life, those one-to-one relationships. Could also be contracts, negotiations, things like that. So any kind of business partnerships would be highlighted in that 7th house. It's not just marriage. Bear with me. I just need to shuffle these, and then I'm going to talk about Sagittarius. So that 7th house is in your opposite sign of Sagittarius. So you might find those significant relationships very hopeful, very optimistic, future oriented, could be connected to higher education. There's a lot with that Sagittarius energy. It really is the adventurer. And so always wanting to grow and expand and let's explore new things. And so you might find yourself attracted to those type of people, and that would be the marrying type for you or something along those lines. Because it could even be in a business partnership where you come together and your partner, well, I mean, together, you would focus on growth and expansion. So take it as it resonates, but I do love that 7th house energy in Sagittarius for you. So let's get your overall 7th house energy the rest of the year. So what I'm getting is the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is a lot of stability. So when it comes to these connections and maybe even negotiations, things like that, King of Pentacles, love to see that. It's very grounded. It's focused on success. This is really planting the seeds for further development and growth. I'm getting the Fool card. So a brand new chapter, a brand new beginning showing up in your relationships. So kind of going back to that 5th house energy where you were maybe focusing on a marriage partner or something along those lines. It looks like you're going to have an opportunity for that kind of relationship to exist. I'm also getting the 5 of Cups here. 5 of Cups is a shift in perspective. This is the 5th house, 7th house connection. You may have held yourself back from having a marriage partner or that kind of relationship, maybe even living together, something along those lines, because of, could be fear, could be anything that held you back and where you just didn't think that that was going to be in your best interest. Something here seems to be shifting. It's this 5 of Cups energy where you're working to kind of shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on the cups that have spilled over, it's focusing on the cups that are standing. So let's get any blocks and barriers for you in the 7th house. Yeah. 7 of Swords. So this is lies, manipulation, and deceit. The way that you were understanding the 7th house and the way that you understood that kind of high level commitment with another person, even a business partnership is still a high level commitment. You're signing contracts. You're entering into some sort of business agreement that's not meant to be short term. And so that 7 of Swords energy indicates that you weren't perceiving the situation correctly. I'm getting the World, and you need to let go of that, because it's operating as a block and barrier. It's preventing you from actually seeing the potential in a situation with this 2 of Wands energy. So let's get the advice here for you. So I'm getting the Magician, which is about manifesting goals and dreams. So when it comes to that kind of relationship or business partnerships, whatever it is for you, really work towards your goals and your dreams. Focus on them. 8 of Swords is coming through. It's that self-imposed prison of the mind. And so the 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, really work through what your old kind of perception or expectations were about those kind of relationships, because there's something here that needs to be modified, but it's up in your mind. There's some sort of mental change that's required here. I'm also getting that with the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords is stress, fear, anxiety. And so working through any fears that you might have around, well, what happens if I get married and then we get divorced? You know, there's things that you need to work through internally. I'm also getting the Hermit energy. And so that Hermit, Virgo, a lot of healing here. You need to kind of work through whatever your old ideas around those types of relationships, business partnerships, contracts, negotiations, and really focus on what exactly that you want here, because it is possible. It's that King of Pentacles with the Fool card. I mean, what you want is really possible here. You have a new chapter in front of you. And so the next house here is the 8th house. So that 8th house is, this is the money that you would earn from an employer. So it's money coming in, it's money going out. So any kind of debts that you have would be part of that 8th house energy. It would also be a spouse's income. So if you're already married, your partner's income would be included there in that house. Is it's also the house of death and rebirth. A lot of power and control issues, things like that take place here. For you, it's in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn is a very structured energy. So Capricorn likes to take things slow, likes to build up a plan and say, okay, but this is what we're going to do. So when you're even thinking about, okay, this is the kind of job that I'm applying for, this is the kind of money that I need to earn, really kind of thinking through all of this because I've got savings goals that I want to hit. And this is really how all the houses connect together. And so that Capricorn energy is very strategic, very disciplined. When they put their mind to it, they go for it. So let's get your 8th house energy for the rest of the year. That would include any kind of changes that are happening because of that house of transformation and just where we are astrologically. There's a lot of change that's taking place, and we're going to be in that until, well, for a while. So definitely through the end of the year. And so there might be more change that's coming through, but there's a plan on how to navigate it all. So let's see, 2 more. So what I'm getting here is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is communication. It's also forward movement. It's a very fast moving energy. Hierophant. So Hierophant could indicate marriage here. If we're talking about spouse's money, there could be conversations with your spouse around money. Take it as it resonates for you. The change and transformation may actually be going from a 5th house to an actual marriage commitment here with that Hierophant Taurus energy. I'm also getting the 6 of Cups. It could be something connected with children. And so there could be something connected to your finances and family life. So spouse, children, whatever's happening here, it feels like there's forward momentum that's taking place. Maybe even discussions around that. So let's get the blocks and barriers in your 8th house. Okay. So what I'm getting here with the 2 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, Empress, and the 4 of Cups is that you're not seeing something clearly. It's the 2 of Wands being off in the distance. You're not able to see the potential in a situation. It's the 5 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. The 5 of Cups needing to see things from a different perspective, really focused on the negative instead of the positive. 4 of Cups, more of the same. Focus on the sadness and disappointment. So these are all blocks and barriers for any kind of forward momentum as it relates to that 8th house. So changes could even be connected to the money coming in, money going out. The Empress energy here indicates it's blocking some sort of balance. Not being able to see things clearly, focusing on the negative is preventing some sort of harmony and balance within a relationship, or just harmony and balance in general between maybe the money coming in and the money going out. So let's get some advice for you here. So I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune, which is growth and prosperity. Love to see that positive turn of events. 5 of Wands. So the Wheel of Fortune with the 5 of Wands tells me whatever obstacles and challenges arise relative to that 8th house, one of those 8th house themes, you're going to be able to overcome whatever those obstacles and challenges are with that Jupiter energy. I'm also getting the Tower. That feels like leaning into all of the change that's taking place. You might experience some sort of sudden change in your environment, but that change is actually meant for growth. There's something here that it's meant to be a positive change. The Tower appears when something does not have a solid foundation, or it's just blocking you from moving forward. So all of these blocks that are appearing here, you may have a sudden awakening. Lean into it. Don't let yourself fall back into that negative energy here, because you are meant to move forward in that house. There is supposed to be a positive change here. The next house here is the 9th house. And so that 9th house energy, that's really, it's growth, it's expansion, anything here that would really expand your mind. So long distance travel is highlighted there, learning foreign languages, and maybe even interacting with people from foreign countries. philosophy, religion, all of it is really part of it. Higher education, I think I said that one already. So all of it that would help you kind of mentally grow and expand, that's the 9th house. For you, it's in the sign of Aquarius. So that Aquarius energy showing up in your 9th house. Aquarius energy, Aquarius rules artificial intelligence. It's ruled by Uranus. Uranus is artificial intelligence. No, wait. Yes. I thought I misspoke, but yes. So this feels like when it comes to growth and expansion, it feels like you're going to lean right into any kind of AI that starts to really take root in our society. So love the way that that's coming through. So let's get, Aquarius is also focused on the collective. So anything that you do to kind of grow and expand yourself, any expansion energy might be also not just focused on you, but the collective. So let's get your overall theme here for the rest of the year. Devil energy, limitation and restriction. Chariot, successfully overcoming it. And the 10 of Wands, putting down all of the burdens and the responsibilities. So that Capricorn energy with the devil, it is very structured. Aquarius does not like that, does not like all of the structure. It's too limiting, too restrictive. Let's work through all of that. So whatever it is that's happening relative to your growth and expansion, what you're doing is successfully leaving all of those restrictions behind. You've completed the cycle. You've done the work. There's nothing left for you to do. And that's where I'm getting the Chariot, that Cancer energy right in the middle that says success. You've done it. You've won. So you're ready for the next chapter, next phase. So let's get any kind of blocks or barriers. So the blocks and barriers here, I'm getting the 5 of Wands, which is obstacles and challenges. 3 of Wands, delays. The World, closing out a cycle. So the obstacle here is really coming down to timing because you've done the work. It's more about the release right now. And so it's just the timing of the release. That's the only thing holding you back. If you're still putting all of your effort and energy into that devil, into those structures that need to be either completely eradicated or modified in some way to allow for flexibility, that seems to be the hang up here. That seems to be what's holding you back. So let's get the advice for the 9th house. So what I'm getting here is the Knight of Swords, which is forward movement. 8 of Wands, open, honest communication. 2 of Swords. So the 2 of Swords is standing at a crossroads, needing to make some sort of choice. So if you're not sure exactly what you need to do in order to modify and really release the devil energy or kind of find that modification to the structures or whatever it is that may be holding you back here, the universe is saying, really open up, talk to somebody. I would say initiate the conversation with that Knight of Swords energy. Really move in the direction of what you want for yourself. And if that means talking to another person, do it. Because you're going to get some sort of clarity. It's between this 8 of Wands and the Knight of Swords. You're going to gain some sort of clarity moving forward, talking to another person if you need to. That's going to show you what choice you need to make, what path is in your best interest. And so the next house up is the 10th house. So the 10th house is career and public reputation. So career and public reputation, exactly what it sounds like. So think of the work that you do, the way that people perceive you in that environment. A little bit different than the first house because that 10th house is more career centered. For you, that's in the sign of Pisces. Come on. So that Pisces energy is very intuitive. I'm getting the maturity of the Pisces energy. So Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. And because it's the last sign, it's the most mature. Every sign learns from the signs before it. So here with that 10th house in Pisces, there's something where you have this understanding on things that maybe other people don't. You get things from a big picture perspective that maybe other people don't when it comes to your career. But the other really important piece to note is the North Node. So the North Node is in Pisces. There's a lesson here that you need to learn. These are called karmic lessons. Karma kind of has its own bad reputation as far as words go. It's really just connected to what you need to learn relative to your career and public reputation. So let's see what that theme is for the rest of the year. So I'm getting the Judgment card, which is that resurrection energy. So there might be something connected to your career that kind of gets a revival here. Maybe it's your reputation or your role within a company. There's something about kind of stepping up, taking control. I'm getting a lot of taking your power back in some way. I'm getting Temperance, Sagittarius energy. So a lot of balance, emotional balance, and Nine of Cups to go after your goals and dreams. So you might find yourself with an opportunity to really rise up and show everybody exactly what you're capable of doing here. It's the Judgment card that I'm really kind of stuck on because it's got so much opportunity connected to it. So let's see any kind of blocks or barriers. So I'm getting the Eight of Cups, which is a movement, but it's moving on from something that doesn't work for you anymore. That something is holding you back. I'm getting the Death card, change and transformation, endings, new beginnings. Three of Cups. Yeah, there is something here that is blocking your happiness. It's something that you need to walk away from. It allows you to really focus on your goals. It's the Judgment and the Nine of Cups. So there's something that needs to change so that you can reprioritize what matters to you. So let's get the advice here. So I'm getting the Knight of Cups, which is a movement energy. It's moving towards your goals and dreams. Really follow your heart. Follow your instincts on this one. What makes sense for you is something that you need to go after. Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords feels like it's the release. It's the release of that Eight of Cups, that death energy. It's letting go of anything here that is preventing you from following your dreams, preventing you from having that career or public reputation that you really want. Because I'm also getting the World here. And so let the cycle close. There is a closed cycle. You are meant to have a new beginning as it relates to your career and public reputation. So the next house here is the 11th house, which is, think of your friends, the community of your friends, all of those relationships, you kind of in relation to that group at large. It's not the individual relationships, it's the community. And so there, think of like social gatherings. It's that one's pretty more straightforward. It's your tribe. It's the people that you choose to be around on a regular basis or that you would go to for things like that. For you, it's in the sign of Aries. And what I'm being drawn to with the sign of Aries is a cardinal sign, which means that it likes conflict and chaos. And so you might find yourself in just dramatic situations with friends where people are, not always, but you're going to have somebody that's going to overreact to a situation and create some sort of drama. That's what I'm picking up with the Aries energy. These cards are not going to shuffle. Okay. You know what? We're going to do that later off camera. Okay. So let's dive into that 11th house energy for you. Aries is also an assertive energy. So you might find yourself just around a lot of people who aren't afraid to speak up or speak out or really put themselves out into the spotlight in that way. So tell me what else is going on here in your 11th house for the rest of the year. What I'm getting here is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lies, manipulation, deceit, can also be secrets. But it feels like there is going to be some sort of action or movement here with the Ace of Wands. And it's going to be a very fast moving action, Knight of Swords. You might release somebody here, or maybe it's a couple of people who just, I want to say they're bad actors. They're people that are just not acting in your best interest. These would be the friends that they're always take, 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 never give. That kind of energy where it's always, oh, woe is me. I'm the victim. Come help me, come rescue me. That kind of damsel in distress energy. That's what I'm getting here with this. But let's see what the blocks and barriers are. So the Star card. So the Star is your goals, your dreams, your wishes. You might have friends that are holding you back in some way. Maybe they're just demanding too much of your time or something along those lines. Because I'm also getting the King of Swords. King of Swords, it's clarity, but it's also release. And the Emperor energy is showing up. That's Aries energy. So you might need to cut some people out of your life, or even just reduce the time that you're spending with them, because maybe they're dominating your energy, or they're just too reliant on you to take care of everything. And you've got your own needs. You've got your own goals and things like that that you want to pursue. So that's what's kind of the block and barrier. So let's get some advice here for you. So what I'm getting here is the Sun. The Sun is really just you front and center. So focus on yourself. What I'm getting with the Sun is ego. Take it as it resonates. It really just means you putting yourself out in the spotlight. Focus on what you need here. Hopeful, optimistic. Your own future is really going to be significant. It's not about somebody else. And I say that because of the Star showing up in your hopes or fears. You need to focus on yourself in order to make your dreams real. You can't be chasing other people around or constantly doing things for others when you have your own needs that need to be met. I'm getting the Eight of Cups showing up here as well. So there's something that you definitely need to walk away from. And I'm getting the Chariot, which is a card of success. So focus on whether it's spending less time or removing these people altogether, the people that are weighing you down and holding you back and just preventing you from achieving your own dreams. That seems to be the theme here for your 11th house. So all those friends, the community, all those people that you choose to be around. The next house here is the last house. So we have the 12th house. 12th house is, I just got self-undoing. It is a house of self-undoing. So it's one of the death houses in tarot. And this is really you behind the scenes. It's your subconscious. Things like the occult. This would be part of that 10th house energy or 12th house energy. So there's a lot in that 12th house. It's not a bad house. I mean, it is considered a malefic death house, but there are benefits to it. For you, it's in the sign of Taurus. So whatever's happening here in your subconscious is very grounded, very practical. So anything that feels like it's ending, opening up space for something new, it's acting in your best interest. In fact, we have Uranus leaving your 12th house, moving into your first house. So all of that sudden change that you might have experienced on a subconscious level, or anything that may have triggered some sort of ending out of the blue, that energy is dissipating. It's actually going to be moving in. That planet is moving into your first house. It's going to start transiting there. So let's dig in and get your theme for that 12th house. So I'm getting the Six of Wands, which is a card of success. Love to see that. Three of Wands, which indicates patience. So it feels like this has been a long time coming. And then I'm getting the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, showing up here. And so whatever's grounded and practical and what you love and value relative to yourself, your internal self, something here is shifting for the better. It's something that's been building over time. And it could even just be that planet of sudden change isn't transiting that house for you anymore, and things are just going to improve on a different level. So let's get any kind of block and barrier showing up in that 12th house. Page of Wands, forward movement. So you kind of being able to move on from a situation, really let go of things here that just are unstable and don't require any of your attention. That has been a block. And so that Page of Wands is showing up. So there's something that's been preventing movement. Four of Swords, some sort of ending here. Two of Swords, confusing energy, needing to make a decision. So the block here is really just, you're not getting any kind of forward progress. When it comes to moving on from a situation or really letting go of a situation, you might find yourself constantly retreating into this escapism, because that's part of that 12th house. And that 12th house energy of escapism says maybe you're over drinking, overspending, whatever the case may be, but you're not really moving on from a situation. You're just finding like a coping mechanism, but not addressing what actually is at issue here. And so it's the Page of Wands that I'm really kind of hung up on. There was some sort of ending, and you almost feel like you don't know what you need to do in order to let the past go. So let's get the advice here for you in that 12th house. So I'm getting the Empress, Venus energy. It's harmony, it's balance. It's actually the ruler of Taurus, which is the sign for that house for you. And so I love that. Really focus on what matters to you. Move in that direction. Could be a specific relationship here with the Two of Cups. So if you have past relationships that have held you back, some sort of ending that you're just hung up on the person or still going through and experiencing the hurt of whatever that ending was, this is saying the best way to really focus on overcoming it, really working through it, not finding some sort of escape mechanism, is really focusing on what matters. It's advancing a relationship here, putting your effort and energy into that, finding your own emotional balance here with the Temperance energy. So that's the 12th house. And what I'm going to do next, and just for the sake of time, I'm going to shuffle that one off camera as well. I'm going to get anything else that you need to know around the last half of the year, that second half of the year. Yeah, you have something that's opening up. I'm getting the World, which is closing out a cycle. I'm definitely getting the sense here that you're still going through some major shifts, but you're about to have another like big release with this World energy. Knight of Cups, that's going to free you, open you up to allow you to move forward with that Knight of Cups energy that moves in the direction of what you want. Eight of Wands, and it's going to open things up right away. As soon as that release occurs, as soon as that ending is completely finalized and you've done all the work and you're ready to let it go, something opens up here and you're able to pursue what you want. So Gemini, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.